April 24th, 2025. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence to mark the passing of Pope Francis. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I say that every time. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. All right, moving right along. Let me start with public hearings. A public hearing for Introductory Local Law 4 of 2025, amending the Village Comprehensive Plan. A public hearing is being held to entertain public comments on Introductory Local Law 4 of 2025, the purpose of ensuring full opportunity for citizen participation in the preparation of the proposed amendment to the comprehensive plan. Public notice was printed in the Times Herald Record on April 10th, 2025. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I am going to go out to the public for public comment, but what I am going to do is carry the public hearing over to our May 24th meeting, which will allow time for our May 22nd. Thank you very much. May 22nd. To allow time for our consultant comments to be considered, and at the same time, also look into the possibility of changing the various maps that need to be changed. So at this time, can I, anyone from the public wishing to speak on Introductory Local Law 4 of 2025? Going once. And you could just go right up if you have. Going twice. Okay. Not hearing anything from the public. Can I have a motion and a second to continue this public hearing to our May 22nd meeting?
Motion.
Oh, could I just, sorry to clarify, we're going to be updating the maps and the consultant comments before the next vote on this?
So you did receive the
Comments from H2M.
Yeah, you received the
There you
There
go.
we go.
There you go.
The planning board provided their comments, which incorporated those of H2M. So I will be providing the board with an updated redline version that incorporates those. I did reach out to the engineer, two of your engineers, to get pricing to see how much it would cost to update the maps, to see if that was something you even wanted to consider. I just haven't gotten that pricing back yet to see if it's through the roof, if it's not, but I wanted to get you that information.
Thank you. I think that'd help the public actually when this comes up for them to have the updated maps. And I thought the consultants and the engineers made a lot of great suggestions that should be incorporated into the document. So I'm glad to hear that they'll be included.
Yeah.
Trustee Fryband, to fill you in, what we're going to do is continue the public hearing to our May 22nd meeting to allow for comments from our consultants to be kind of melted into this new local law and also give us an opportunity to update the maps.
I concur.
Okay. So, I got a motion in a second? Do I have an all in favor? Aye. Aye. Okay. Moving along. Public hearing for Introductory Local Law 5 of 2025, rescinding Local Law 2 of 2025, tax cap override. Public hearing is being held to entertain public comments on Introductory Local Law 5 of 2025, a local law repealing Local Law 2 of 2025, entitled Override the Tax Levy Limit Established in General Municipal Law 3C, previously adopted on February 13, 2025. Public notice was printed in the Times Herald Record on April 17th. And once again, I will go out to the public for public comment. What we're doing here is just rescinding the tax cap override since we went under the tax cap. So anybody in the public wishing to speak on this? Once, going twice. Anybody? All right, can I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, can I have a motion and a second to adopt Local Law 4 of 2025 to rescind Local Law 2 of 2025 tax cap override and to direct the village clerk to print a copy of this law in these minutes.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Village Clerk McLennan with the roll call.
Trustee Fryban, how do you vote?
Aye.
Trustee Fabro?
Aye.
Trustee Ceriello? Aye. Trustee Farrelly?
Aye.
Mayor James Mazza?
Aye. And that's that. Okay. Public comment on agenda items only. I see that many of you have the agenda. Congratulations. You're ahead of the game, except for Maria Hunter again.
She memorized it.
Unbelievable. All right. So if anyone has any comments on the agenda items only, speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay. Administrative business. Can I have motion and a second to accept receipt of the minutes of the meeting held on April 10th, 2025?
All motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Village Clerk McLennan, will you please read Abstract 21?
Abstract 21 contains vouchers 24252447 through 24252582 and totals $230,222.87.
All right. Can I have motion and a second to approve Abstract 21 as read?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Fire Department equipment request. Can I have motion and a second to approve Fire Department equipment request 16 of 2025 for the purchase of replacement sensors totaling approximately $2,518.00.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Can I ask a question on that?
Yes.
How often do these sensors have to be replaced? Anybody know?
I don't believe the fire chief is present.
No, I thought maybe you knew.
No.
I mean, I know a lot of stuff, but off the top of my head, that I don't know. If I can reach out to the chief if you'd like.
I was
Or
just,
you can
I was
tell
just
me
curious
now.
because they're pretty expensive. I didn't know whether these were something every year or not.
If you had asked me before the meeting, I could have got you the answer. Yeah.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Do I have an all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Last meeting, we had all right, our last meeting, a motion was offered by Trustee Fabro, seconded by Trustee Ceriello, for Fire Department equipment requests 9 through 15 of 2025 for the purchase of general rescue and ice rescue equipment, totaling $67,950.90. The motion was not passed. We had a motion and a second, but due to the discussion item at the April 10th meeting, I did not come back and get it all in favor. So I get scolded for that one. So can I have a motion and a second to approve Fire Department equipment requests 9 through 15 of 2025 for the purchase of general rescue and ice rescue equipment totaling $67,950.90. And we cannot forget the 90 cents.
All motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Schedule a public hearing for the New York State Thruway Authority hardship moratorium request. So can I have a motion and a second to schedule a public hearing for the New York State Thruway Authority hardship moratorium request for our May 8th meeting?
Motion.
See what's going on.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Schedule another public hearing, Community Development Grant Program. Can I have motion and a second to schedule a public hearing to be held on May 8th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. to entertain public suggestions on projects to be applied for funding through the fiscal year 2026 Orange County Community Development Grant Program?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have an all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So now it's time for me to sign stuff. So can I have a motion and a second to authorize me, the mayor, to sign the renewal contract with Stratagem for the maintenance of the security systems at various village buildings totaling $18,778 for the year.
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
I have a question.
Okay.
The contract still indicates the point of contact and the responsible party as the Woodbury Police Department. Without the intermunicipal agreement, what written agreement or what written confirmation do we have that they are willing and responsible for the now monitoring?
Go ahead.
All municipal cameras, including the ones at the school district, all go to the police department. That's why Lieutenant Phillips is listed there as the person primary, and I'm the secondary with them. So there's no IMA required because they're the police department and they get all video transactions, just like with the school district.
Okay?
You're welcome.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have an all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, fair housing resolution and the fair housing information. So this is a requirement for us to be eligible for the Orange County Community Development Grant Program. So can I have a motion and a second to adopt the following resolution as presented? And the resolution is available on the website and will be available at on the minutes when they get printed tomorrow. Do I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, hotel motel home rule support. Resolution requesting the enactment of New York State Assembly Bill AO 5445 and New York State Senate Bill S00708 for the 2025 legislative session, authorizing the Village of Woodbury to continue to impose a hotel motel tax in the Village of Woodbury. So be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Woodbury request the enactment of the New York State Assembly Bill AO 5445 and New York State Senate Bill S00708, authorizing the continuance of a hotel and motel tax in the Village of Woodbury, and be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees authorizes the village clerk to transmit this resolution together with any other necessary documentation to both houses of the New York State Legislature forthwith.
So moved. Oh, somebody else.
Give it to Trustee Suriello, seconded by Trustee Fryban.
Yeah.
Do I have an all in favor? Aye. Okay. So, as many of you know, the Woodbury Lions Club, which I happen to be a member of, and Deputy Mayor Farrelly is a past president, does so much for the community. They are hosting their annual yard sale on June 14, 2025. Money raised goes towards the charitable endeavors of the Woodbury Lions Club, so therefore, can I have a motion and a second to waive all fees associated with the community yard sale hosted by the Woodbury Lions Club on June 14, 2025?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Amended utility and telecom agreement with Troy and Banks. So just want, Trustee Fryban, did you make any phone calls to see about getting a lesser rate on this before I push forward with this?
I have no additional information.
Okay. So can I have motion and a second to authorize me, the mayor, to sign an amended utility and telecom agreement with Troy and Banks? This amendment states that Troy and Banks will receive 25% of all monies refunded or credited to the client.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And just for the record, I just want to note that the village treasurer was on vacation and still working diligently and was able to get a reduced rate. You're amazing, okay? Rob Wyatt may be jealous, but he's got every right to be. All right, can I get it all in favor? I got an all in favor?
Listen, when we clap about
Okay.
what a great job you do removing snow, it's your job.
All right, all
We had
right.
snow last Saturday, let's clap.
Yeah, speech. All right, I got a motion and a second. Do I have an all in favor?
Turn red.
Aye.
Aye.
And for the record, I just want to say Rob Wyant did a great job with the snow last Saturday. Great job, Rob.
I wasn't here, but I heard it.
You're my favorite highway superintendent ever. All right. All right. Special council engagement letter, annexation petition. So, can I have a motion and a second to authorize me, the mayor, to sign an engagement letter engaging Brian Cave Leighton Paisner LLP to provide legal services to the Village of Woodbury in connection with the annexation petition submitted by, can you pronounce it? Yeah, no. Okay, there we go. Hakura Affordable Housing of Monroe Woodbury and Acres Road 2 Holding LLC. A hush falls over the crowd. I got a motion from trustee Cirillo. Do I have a second?
I will second.
All right. I got a second from trustee Farrelly.
I have a question.
Okay.
Well, there's no litigation at this point. The question is, at what point can we go into executive session to discuss this matter?
We can certainly have an attorney-client on this matter. Executive session would only be appropriate if there was litigation pending, threatened.
But we had an attorney-client.
At this precise moment, at any time the board would like, we certainly can.
Yeah.
I don't think I, at this moment, need an attorney-client to discuss this.
Well, I have a question about the proposal.
The proposal from KJ?
Yes. No,
the
not the
proposal
proposal
from
from
Brian
KJ,
Cave.
Brian Cave?
from the attorneys. The letter that you wish to sign for joint representation by this attorney.
Okay, that, honestly, why didn't you just send an email prior to the meeting? We could have answered that and not gone into an attorney-client session.
Because I just got a copy of the